Hey guys, welcome back to another video in my channel. In this one, I'm going to be talking about burning all bridges. So the other day, I was just going through my Instagram reels and I came across a biker called Cold R6. He's passed away, unfortunately, but like he's my favorite biker and I watch his videos and stuff. And there was one video where the caption was burning all bridges. And I recently had a friend also come to me being I'm going through a breakup with my girlfriend and I want advice regarding that. Obviously the first thing that you do in such a situation is to try to fix things and see if you can actually fix things, see if you actually didn't fuck up that bad, so that you can go back to the person and try to fix things. Because at the end of the day, we need relationships to progress as a human being and stuff, and we don't want to hurt anybody nor get hurt in return, nor get hurt in return, right? So yeah, that's advice I gave him and shit like that. And we're I'm helping him out. But that made me think about one thing. Yeah, most of us teenagers, most of us youth, we have this problem of it's so hard for us to detach ourselves from our past, and it's so hard to burn all the bridges that are, that we have in our life, to things that we don't want to connect to, that we don't want to associate with anymore, to things that are actually stopping us from moving forward. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, do you actually want to move on from this person that you have been obsessing about, or from a situation or a place that you is stopping you from reaching your full potential? Do you actually want to do that? That's the question that you need to be asking yourself. That's the first question you need to ask, because if you don't want to move on, if you don't want to give up, and if you don't want to actually do this thing, then there's no point in watching this video. There's no point if anybody comes to you speaking to you about moving on and how you can do that and shit like that, because at the end of the day, it solely depends on what you want and what are your personal interests. If you don't want to move on, then nobody can convince you to do so. But if you know that it's actually harming you and your future and it's gonna fuck you up, then that's when you would probably want to take action. That's when you would probably even have clicked on this video. That's when you would be seeking advice from other people regarding how you can deal with the situation, how you can move on and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that comes into this, which I've been working for the past few weeks. Why? Because I want to provide you with some clarity regarding whatever situation that you're in. So I've delved deep into most of the cases that these situations could be spread across different topics, and we're going to be discussing about that with the videos to come. So mostly it's going to be a 2-part or 3-part series video, so stay tuned for that. If you first answer the question and the answer to the question is that yes, you actually want to move on. I keep looking down, my bad. The answer to the question is that yes, you actually want to move on, you actually want to cut ties and you want to burn your bridges, and you find it very difficult to do so. If that's your answer, if that's somewhat what your answer is, then continue watching this video, because the stuff that I say could possibly change your life, could possibly give you some clarity regarding a situation that's gonna make you take some actions, take some definitive steps that's gonna put you to a better place than from where you are right now. So I've actually written down on my laptop, so let me just pick it up. Here it is. I personally believe that there's 2 ways in which one can burn their bridges to their past, according to me. First one being face it for one last time, and the second one being escape from it without explanation. Yes, that's what I meant. And if there's more than 2, let me know. My personal preference is that you face it for one last time, but we're going to touch down on each of these topics in a bit of depth so that you understand what's going on, and it probably gives you some clarity regarding your situation so that you can navigate through it in a much better way. So now we're going to be discussing when to face it and stuff like that, and when it's just ego, and some 7 reasons as to why people choose to face things. Some of this you could personally relate to, some of the situations could be exactly what you're going through as well. So let's touch down on that. Now, facing it one last time, you do this when there's something inside you that needs some correction, some resolution, you need some addressing, you want to sort things out with a person, and you believe that it's worth it, okay, something like that. So first one being, you still believe it's worth fixing. You believe it's worth to give it a try. You trust the other person enough to give it a try. No matter what happened between you, you think that, maybe it could be fixed. Maybe it's something that, you need closure in so that you can move on to the next stage of your life. So you decide to give it a try because you know that it's worth to do so. Now the second point being, you believe it's your fault. Now it's the same as the first, to be honest, but there are chances that things will get back to normal, but you still want to address things and give closure to the other person, so you decide to reach out. Now the third point being, you want them to feel heard. Maybe they're hurting because of what you did, so you give them that one last conversation. That's related, so related to the second point. But the thing is, it's on you. The fault is on your side, so you must give out your you must let go of your ego and accept the fact that the fault is yours, and you come forward to actually try to fix things, or face it for one last time before you give it up. So because most of the times burning the bridge is not the sole solution to the problem that you're facing, to the situation that you're facing. Maybe it is that it's just a bit of a misunderstanding. Maybe it's something that's fucked up, but it can be fixed. So like, instead of giving it up, when you have that one last conversation with somebody, or when you decide to face it, knowing that you trust in the other person, or knowing that you actually made the mistake yourself, you let go of the ego and you decide to come forward and do it. Most of the times it won't end up in a negative way. It won't end up in a way that would make you want to like burn that bridge with that person or something. Most probably it will just fix things with that person. So like, you know, keep a positive outlook regarding the situation that you're in. Now the fourth point being, you don't expect closure, but you want to avoid regret. Now what does this mean? You do it so that later you don't have to wonder what if. Like, you know, some people they go on in the future being like, man, what if I had fixed things? What if I had come forward to speak to this person? You know, maybe we could have possibly fixed things. Now I'm at a much worse state in my life. If only I had done that thing years ago or something like that. So you do this later so that later you don't wonder, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to like regret on your decision. You know, you decide to face it, not because you know it would end well and you'd get your answers, but you want to avoid having any regrets later on. Okay, now the thing is, maybe most probably that the mistake is probably on the other person, or maybe the mistake is on your side. Whatever it is, right, you go forward and you decide to face it. Why? Because like, you just don't want to regret later on that, okay, what would have happened if I had, you know, decided to address it for one last time with this person. Maybe things could have gotten right. Maybe things would have been, you know, things would have led to a negative outcome. But whatever it is, you would have gotten your closure, right? What if? The question of what if is always there. So like, you know, you could come forward with that one last bit of effort to like just try to speak to a person, or try to address whatever is going on, whatever tension that you have with that person. And that's probably gonna, you know, result in whatever way. You don't give a fuck about the result. You just care about not having to have regret of not doing that later on in your life. Now the fifth point being, you want to win their love back. You want to win them back, not because it's right, but because your ego or emotions won't let it go, right? That's manipulation. The fault in this situation, in this case, is actually on you. But like, you know, so people manipulate all the time and stuff. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not judging it, but I'm saying it's one of the situations that people find themselves in that makes them want to face it for one last time before actually like letting go or giving it up. Being that they want to win their love back, being the fact that they don't want to let go, being the fact that, you know, they realize that they can't live without this person, so they decide to face it. At least they're facing it without escaping. You get what I mean? But the fault is on you because you're trying to, you know, kind of manipulate the other person and stuff. So do not do that, honestly. Like, you know, always keep it honest and know your shortcomings. Always keep it honest. And like, if you find yourself in this category, come to terms with yourself regarding what you actually want and stuff, and learn about communicating openly with the other person. But like, you know, I don't know what your motives are, but like, if you believe that this is the best way to go about, then you have no choice but to go about this. You know, if it's gonna lead to many better results from this one decision that you make, whether it be manipulation or whatever, you will be forced to this decision. So I do not know what your motives are, but like, you know, try to avoid manipulation. That's what I'm trying to say. Now the sixth point being, you want proof that you can't stay. Now what is this? You face it for one last time, knowing so certainly that, okay, I don't want to be with this person anymore, but like, I just want that final bit of evidence, or like just this proof that, yeah, this is exactly why I can't stay with this person. Like, so you go forward, you try to talk to them about it, not argue or something, but you try to bring it up, talk to them about it, knowing the fact that they won't take it well and that, you know, they're very incompatible with you. So like, yeah, you go back to confirm the damage, to remind yourself why it had to end. The fault is on their side, it's not on you. But like, when you get that final sense of like, you know, yeah, this is exactly why I can't be with this person, it's kind of a closure, and like, you can move on from whatever situation that you find yourself in a much better way because you got the closure. So yeah. And the last point being, you want answers. You just want answers, not peace, not resolution. just the truth. It's on the other person. So you go forward and you make your request of, yeah, I want some answers to my questions. You did me wrong. You did this thing. Some shit has happened between us. You don't want to fix things. You don't want to do anything like that. You just want answers. You just, there's nothing like you're trying to win the back. There's no manipulation. There's nothing like that. You just want answers for the stuff that has happened, either if it's wrong to you or wrong to them, whatever, or you just want to give answers to their questions, whatever it may be. But yeah, people choose this way or choose this solution of like facing it for one last time, either because they want to fix things or they want to cut them off from their life, or due to reasons that are mentioned in these 7 points that I just put up forward. If you find yourself in any of these 7 reasons, 7 categories, or like, I don't know if that's the best term to describe it, but like if you find yourself here, yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have gotten some clarity regarding your situation. Because when you're able to categorize the situation that you're in, the way you're feeling under something like this, under a point that I've mentioned just right now, it helps you to like, know your situation better so that you can positively navigate through it to get to a better outcome. So yes. But then under this comes also a danger of facing it for the wrong reason, being like you want validation, you want to feel powerful, or you want to feel needed. In this case, you become performative and stuff like that, which is totally not advised. So if you feel like that is your internal motive behind facing it for one last time with the person, that you want to possibly hurt them or like do something that's morally not right, then yeah, you need to come to terms with that and know the fact that you are not supposed to be indulging in that, because you have good values and you're on this journey of just improving your life. You get what I mean? The next video I'm going to be speaking about the second way in which most people prefer in like burning their bridges, being escaping without closure. And I speak about why escaping without closure doesn't make you a pussy or something like that, and that it isn't weakness, but it's actually sometimes gonna be a better choice than probably facing things. And we're gonna touch down on the 6 to 7 reasons as to why people do that in the next video. So stay tuned for that, and make sure to give me feedback on how I've crafted this video, because I've actually put in some effort, but I'm not sure if it's like that good. So like, make sure to let me know in the comment section below if there are things that I need to fix. And yeah, I read all of your comments, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in another video, and I hope this one helped you a lot. If you've someone who's struggling with just burning the bridges with their past, one last bit of advice that I give you is that sometimes escaping and like just holding that ego within you is not the right way of dealing with things, no matter what it may be. So you need to learn to let go of this ego and just like come forward with the confidence of just like facing it, whether it be for one last time or whether it be to fix things. But make sure that you're not trying to fix things so that you go back to someone who's continuously hurting you. You get what I mean? So keeping all these things in mind, I wish you clarity, and I wish you the strength to like deal with whatever you're going through. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I love you all. Take care. Bye bye.